This video was taken on mission STS-48 by the shuttle Discovery in September 1991. If you look carefully, does it show a missile or other weapon being fired at a UFO? If you are new to my channel, please like, subscribe, hit that bell notification. It really does help us out. Now let's have a look at this video in a bit more detail. There are possibly several UFOs in this video, but here are the two that are most interesting. The one in the red seems to be the one that is fired upon, but is the weapon being fired from the surface of the Earth, or is it actually being fired from the vessel at the bottom, circled in green? Here is a more heavily processed version of the video. You can see the slightly curved line across the top corner. That's actually the curvature of the Earth. Some of the lights as well that are moving up towards that line at the moment are actually population centres or cities on the Earth. You can see the object here suddenly veer off. Now that is a more than 45-degree turn. If it is some sort of debris or ice, it seems unlikely that it would be able to make that sort of angle of change. In this image you can see the time lapse, and this is then overlaid on top of the video. So you can see that there seems to be at least one object, possibly more, that are changing direction all on their own. Now there is a sudden flash. NASA say that these objects that we're seeing are just ice particles. Thrusters from the shuttle Discovery are fired, and that is what is causing the sudden changes in direction. But surely if that was happening, that these objects must be much, much closer to the shuttle than they appear. As in the video, they appear to be at quite a distance. So as we know, NASA always tells us the truth, and they never lie to us or spin evidence in their favour. We don't call them never a straight answer for no reason. But does the ice particle explanation have credibility? Well, the video is taken using a low light camera, and I can tell you from experience that things filmed in low light look strange. Ice particles also do kind of follow the Discovery as it flies through space. Ice particles do form on the vehicle's surface and break off. They can seem much larger than they really are as the light reflects off them. They can also seem much further away. There is also a lot of debris in space, a lot of ice, a lot of small meteors. These do impact the atmosphere and do change course when they do. Low light cameras will capture much more of this than we would normally see with the naked eye. Now I cannot say that NASA's explanation is not possible, because I have to say I think it probably is. But in this case you can see these two UFOs flying. They seem to be tracking each other. An object or a missile or an energy beam seems to be fired from one, aimed at the other, which then turns at a more than 45-degree angle and shoots off more quickly than it was traveling initially. I believe as well you can actually see a trajectory of the weapon. I believe it is the lower object circled in green firing on the upper object circled in red, and that there is a trajectory of the weapon. As it is released from the green, it travels sideways and then very quickly and suddenly shoots targeted towards the UFO in red. Some YouTube channels will suggest that there was an armada of UFOs, but I think that's probably unlikely. I think some of these objects we're looking at are just space debris. The one thing I would say about the NASA explanation though is, why is the object that we see that here is labelled as UFO 1 react so suddenly to what NASA call the use of the thrusters, but all the other objects that we see labelled here don't seem to react at all? So what do I think? Well, using low light cameras, things do appear odd. Things that are completely normal look completely bizarre. Things also in space don't behave the way we would expect them to on Earth, so this could be nothing. Saying that, I believe UFOs are visiting Earth. I believe aliens have possibly been visiting Earth for millennia, and that our government would be actively trying to build defences against those invasions of our airspace. I believe we could have a secret space program and trying to build technologies that could prevent UFOs from, like I say, invading our space. So perhaps this is evidence of that secret space program. This is evidence of a space-based defense system actually in operation. And if that is true, maybe we need Space Force more than we realized.